All right, just making sure this connection is on point. Give me 1 second. Just get situated for a few minutes here. Stamina, what's going on, man? Get this things right. Look smooth. Close that one out. Put that one up. Yeah, man. Not a lot of crazy stuff to talk about. I know you ain't big on boxing stamina, but I'll keep that short. Just a few, just a few things going on in MMA. I mean, we didn't really have like a solid card last night, so I mean, the only fight we had got canceled. What do we have? Montana De La Rosa and Taylor Santos. Only women's fight on the card and had to get canceled. Damn. Come on, man. But yeah, what do I want to talk about? I want to talk about this cut. Just want to talk about this UFC cut a little bit. Talk about who I think is going to get cut out of these 60 people. Dana White said it's supposed to be like end of the year on into the first year. He's going to be cutting like 60 people. But I really don't think it's going to affect the women too much. And that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about why I feel like it's not going to affect the women. Okay, Stanley, you said, yeah, y'all locked down. Y'all locked down, just got out. Okay, so y'all just kind of y'all just trying to get back in motion. Yeah, but I'll jump on that. I will jump on that talk first. I want to talk the UFC cuts. I want to talk on that first because I did do a video on Spence and Garcia already anyway. So yeah, want to talk this cut. Dana White cutting 60 people. Then I want to talk about Taylor Santos and Jillian Robertson. Let's see if we're gonna get this fight. Let's see if this fight is gonna go down December 19th. I'm not even gonna get too overhyped about it, even though this match is better. But we just gotta wait till they actually get in the octagon. Now, nothing's ever solid, man. Roger, what's going on? Roger in the building. Got Robert Henry in the building. So yeah, man. Let's see. So Dana White cutting everybody. He just went straight in, man. I mean, everybody on, I've been seeing on YouTube, they've been talking about this whole thing. Dana White cutting 60 people. I know some people feel like it's going to be a lot of women, but personally, I don't think it is. Let me go back and look at that article real quick. Where is it? Let's see. Yeah, because Dana White, he started with Yoel, and that's what kind of like triggered everybody. Whenever Yoel got called, he got called out. Everybody thought that Yoel just like left his contract or whatever. He still had like 3 fights on there. But I was looking here, Dana White, this article says Yoel is just a part of that 60 fight cut roster. He said we're going through some serious cuts. So yeah, real quick, where was it? Let's see. Yeah, Raj, I know it happens almost every year. I mean, when you look at that, when you look at how many fighters the UFC has as a whole, that's not really making a big dent. I know it looks serious and it seems serious. I mean, it's serious to that number of fighters, of course, but 900 or what was it, 8 or 900 fighters on the UFC roster, then you cut like 60. It's just like, it's a part of the game. And if you're really not holding it down, I mean, if you're one of the ones not holding it down, yeah, you got to be worried. Yeah, this was the article I was looking at where it said Dana said we're going to go through some serious cuts here at the end of the year. And like you said, Roger, yeah, they seem to cut just about every year. Probably, he said here's probably going to have 60 cuts coming up before the first of the year. Yoel has lost 4 of his last 5. He's 44 years old. And our roster is very inflated right now. So we're going to have big cuts coming before the end of the year. So, yeah, expect that to be right there, right around the Christmas time week. Roger said they can cut anyone that loses since they don't update their website. It's not obvious, right? Yeah, 600. Okay. The rest are not there. This is how bunk their website is, right? Same with these rankings, right? Stamina said they cut Elias Theodoro on a win streak. They do whatever. Yeah, they pretty much do, man. Because I mean, when they cut Liz Carmouche, I was kind of like, it seemed like anybody's fair game. I know Liz Carmouche, she lost to Valentina, but I mean, other than that, I think she was still one of those flyweights that was game for everybody else. You know what I mean? So when you see him cutting fighters like that, then I think everybody's fair game. I don't think it's just going to be losing streaks. It was something I said over at the coach's channel. I felt like it was going to really come down to not losing streaks, but people he just feel like is dead weight. And to me, dead weight in the UFC is just like inactive fighters. And I think it's going to be like fighters that don't answer that call when he want them. When he needs somebody like, oh, somebody test positive for COVID, I need you to step in. And they'd be like, well, I ain't ready. Or they'd be like, I don't want to take that fight. Then he kind of puts them on that list to the side. That's what I'm thinking. He kind of sees them as dead weight. And of course, he does look at fighters that take, hella beatings. Fighters that take like bad beatings but aren't exciting. I mean, it's one thing to keep a fighter who loses in like exciting fashion. Like when you're talking about like Cowboy Cerrone, even now he about shot Warren. But when you're talking about somebody like Cowboy, he's kind of exciting even though he's losing. But if you just got fighters who are just getting fed to prospects and contenders, I think it's about time for them type of fighters to be cut. Hannah Cyphers. You see, he already got rid of Barella. So, yeah, fighters like that are high on that list. And then them fighters you just don't hear about anymore. I mean, shoot, like fighters he signed and you just don't hear pop up at all, or you just can't get him a fight because they ain't marketable. So I think that comes into play too, man. Like you could be on a winning streak, but if you marketable, shoot, if you ain't marketable, he just let you go, Roger said Theodoro was cut after he lost to Derek Brunson in the co-main event earlier this month. Damn. So yeah, looking at the rest of his article, he said this article here, or was it MMA Mania? Dana said you're going to see a lot of names cut here in the next several weeks. He said it had nothing to do with anybody like violating USADA. He said we're just literally starting to go through the list, and he's trying to say he's 44 and has lost 4 of his last fights. But I mean, I thought Yoel was still like, game compared to most of these fighters. I thought he would have been last on the list, just, because even though he's on a losing streak, he still would like put up a good fight. And I don't really think his age came into play. What do y'all think? Y'all think Overeem would get cut? I mean, that dude, come on, man. Alistair Overeem, how old is he anyway, man? Alistair Overeem is 40. Alistair Overeem, he's 40 years old, man. So would they keep him? 47 and 18? I mean, he's not on a losing streak. He'll lose here and there. Then he'll go like a winning streak. But, I think that'll kind of hold him down, because he still does put on some exciting fights in the heavyweight division, so. Yeah, if the contract expires, lost or not, they can just say, "Oh, I don't want to renew your contract." Yeah, I get that. Damn, man, yeah. But I really don't think this is gonna. I don't really think this is gonna affect the women like a lot of people think it is. I know a lot of people the other day on my stream, they were just naming women that were gonna get cut, but I don't think that the women are gonna get cut like this, man. I don't think it's gonna be like a heavy portion of women. Like, it's not gonna be 50-50. If you've seen like how they did some cuts before, I think maybe one time it was like 23 women, so I really don't see, even like the higher the number is this time around, it doesn't mean like it's going to be 20 or 30 women, because you got to remember, like, that would be like the majority of a division. You would be sucking a division dry. So anybody thinking like he's going to cut a lot of straw weights, you can scratch that out. I mean, Carolina, she might be one of the only straw weights that cut this time around. Maybe Felice. So maybe those two that he would see like dead weight right now in the strawweight division, but everybody else is still like game, and they can still bring in money. So I don't think he would get rid of anybody except Carolina and Felice out of the strawweight division. But when you talk about like other women he would cut, then most definitely he would start picking at that bantamweight division. I think he would start picking at that bantamweight division, and the unranked flyweights, unranked bantamweights and unranked flyweights. I think he would start getting rid of fighters like, I hate to say it, but like fighters that like Poliana Mateo, of course, Hannah Cyphers, like I said, and just some of the other fighters that you don't ever see. Some of the ones that we don't even like hear about all the times. Like what's her name, Belbita, or Kel Rosa, not Kel Rosa, but Belbita, yeah, somebody like her. Fighters like that. But even then, it's really up in the air. Like I can't really just go down the list of women that you just say, oh yeah, he's gonna get rid of them. Because like I said, it would kind of strip a division. Like, say if he went through the flyweight division and just decided to cut like 15 women out of the flyweight division, there goes part of your flyweight division. I mean, if you really do the math too, like Coach said, or if you do the math, match the math to how much of a card is all men. Like, what do we have? We had one WMMA fight last Saturday, right? Where we were gonna have one, And that's how it is on a card sometimes. You only have one female fight on the card. So how many men is that? So the men still make up much of the sport. So how much of the men make up dead weight too, right? So just as much as they pull in fans, there's a lot of dead weight in men too. That means that the numbers are going to be less for women if they get cut, So if the majority of a card is men, then the majority of the problem is coming from the men. Somebody's not pulling their weight, or it's just time to let somebody go. Or like Roger said, it's just time to not renew a contract because we can't keep paying this person that X amount of dollars. Roger said it sucks, but I hope they have a plan B for their career. Hey, me too, man. I don't wish that on nobody right now to be cut, or lose their job. He said I could see some of the featherweights getting canned. Yeah, I mean, whatever there is of the featherweights, you can get rid of them. Because it's not really a division anyway. I mean, Nunes is going to beat them all anyway and hold on to that belt till she retires. So it's not really doing them right to keep that little bit of featherweight fighters they got. Maybe that's why Norma Dumont's trying to squeeze down to 135. Gary Baldwin said Overeem is one of the 6 heavyweights that's not obese, so no. Well, I mean, even if he wasn't obese, I mean, I think it has more to do with his winning streak right now. I think his performances. Even though he loses, he'll bounce back and win too, and a lot of people still watching. I just thought they might look at him because of his age as well. Gary Baldwin said Rachel needs to go no matter what. That's another name. Yeah, Rachel. When you're going down those unranked flyweights, Rachel Ostovich is probably going to be on that chopping block. I don't know about Polian. I was thinking about Polian Botello. I don't know though. I don't know. I mean, you got to really look at what they bring to the table, man. Like, are they really bringing in people to come watch them? Are they really looking dedicated when they come in there? Are they making the UFC look like a laughing stock at times? They ain't bashing some of these fighters, but I'm just saying, like, does it make people say, why they didn't even think about putting this person in the octagon? Why are they even in the cage? So I guess there's a lot of things to take into consideration, but I think the last time, like I said, maybe like a year or two ago when they did some cuts, I don't even think it was some of the fighters that I thought it would be cut, honestly. I mean, unless they were really, really like terrible, but some of the cuts they had pulled the other year, man, it didn't even turn out to be who I thought it was going to be. Stamina said MMA doesn't strike me as a career path that allows much room for contingency. No, not at all. Stamina said they got to earn something consequential before they can invest. But I hear you. Yeah. Yeah, Dumont is a career 135 pounder. As few fights that she had, she let herself go after the Megan fight is all. Yeah, so yeah, she can get back down there. Like if they just can everybody in the featherweight division, then she can get back down there. I mean, would y'all be shocked? Tell me this: would y'all be shocked if Megan Anderson got cut? I mean, that's a question right there. I mean, I know Megan is like one of the only featherweights, but is it really doing them like a big service to keep her? That's the question. Like I said, I ain't trying to get nobody fired, but I'm just saying, like, do you think that she could possibly be one of the fighters exempt from being cut? What reasons would they really have to keep her? Okay, coach said no. She'll have work in commentating in Bellator. Yeah, she could always go to Bellator. That's what I'm saying. Like, if they didn't really have any use for her right now, then I'm like, hey, I mean, even like right now, like I'm saying, like if he's really trying to go through this big cut, I'd be like, I wouldn't be surprised if she went, if they got rid of her. But yeah, she's a hell of a good commentator. I mean, not being funny, but I mean her skills in that department definitely surpass her fighting skills right now. I mean, she could have been better, but I'm just saying like she's really surpassing as a commentator right now. Yeah, she's a good commentator. That's what I'm saying. Like, if they did cut her, she would be fine. Be a commentator in Bellator, or be a fighter in Bellator. Be a fighter, be a commentator in Invicta. So there's doors open for her because right now, like, other than just saying she's a UFC fighter, I mean, like, she hasn't really like been like this big standout to say she's exempt from being cut. Stammer said that would be his shocked face. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. No, I wouldn't be shocked. Roger said it is a one-off. Really, it doesn't justify their resources. Personally, I would cut the 145 and invest 105 in 105-pound division. Yeah, that would be smart. Because I mean, the other day when I had to stream. I had a stream what the other day. Friday? Did a stream Friday. A lot of people were saying that they wanted to see a atomweight division, or they were saying that atomweight division was their second favorite division. I mean, me personally, my favorite is the strawweight and the flyweight right now. But I mean, hey, the atomweight division, hey, you build one of them up. I mean, you got enough fighters. That might be more of a worthy investment right now because they really ain't. They really are not putting together any type of featherweight division or got any type of organization with it. It's just all over the place. Yeah, but that makes sense. Cutting what you call a featherweight division, cutting that little bit of roster that you got, that would probably help. But like I was telling Coach too on his channel, I said maybe 8, maybe 9 women. Like he said maybe like 9 or 10. But yeah, I think maybe in like the 7 or 8 range. I think it's going to be mostly flyweights and some bantamweights. Who do y'all think? Who do y'all think it will be though? Like, if y'all had to pick maybe like 4 or 5, who do you think it would be? Roger said 145 is diluted between Bellator and UFC. Like, it could be so much better, man. Like, if they had some more like true powerhouses that wanted to come in there and fight, brawl, you'd be seeing mad knockouts of featherweight. And I mean, like, some solid performances, man. But like, the featherweight division right now kind of reminds me of the heavyweight division, like the early 2000 in boxing, man. Like, where it was just like flat. Like, I remember back in like 2005, like right after Lennox Lewis retired, like the heavyweight division was just like, it was just, what, who's heavyweight champion? That's what it was. That's what it was like. I didn't really care about it. And you also had like heavyweights that were just really slow and lethargic, that they just kept getting bigger and bigger, and they were just so slow and slow. That's kind of what the featherweight division is kind of like. It's kind of like laying on the side right now. You don't really have any like polished technical punches in there. That's why whenever you play that's when you play the featherweight division. I mean, like, I'm looking because I want to see I want to see some hitters. But besides like me, like Megan, whenever she was prime and ready to go, she was in there throwing bombs. She was exciting. But I don't even really count her too now. It's just like you got Cyborg, and then you got Nunes. then who else do you got? You got some other fighters that I can't even say are A or B or C right now. Like nobody's like falling into place. Roger says looks out of place. Yeah. Um, Coach said midget, midget division. Hey man, if they don't do the featherweights right, then yeah, just go ahead and invest in a 105-pound division, because at least we know 15 to 20 atom weights are going to bring it. I've named 15 to 20 on the live stream about a month or two ago, and I think those ladies are doing more as far as training and staying fit and staying at their weight and looking sharp compared to some of these featherweights. Or maybe they just ain't digging, man. Maybe they just ain't digging for featherweights. I don't know, man. Maybe they just ain't digging right. Like maybe they just ain't finding the right fighters. Like, well, you can see they holding some fighters back. Like when they got Kayla fighting Invicta, they letting her handpick opponents. Gary said Randa, Rachel, Carolina, Cyphers, Ashley Evans Smith. Yeah, I can agree with them five, man. That's yeah. The only one I wouldn't be surprised if they kept Randa. If they kept Randa, I'd be cool with that. I mean, I hope they I hope she don't get cut. I mean, some of the other ones are asking for it though. Not to be mean, of course, but some of them are asking for it. They're just in that position where they're not leveling up. And I think if Carolina got cut, it would be for the best, man, because I think she would take some serious damage. I mean, didn't she suffer a broken eye socket? Yeah, if they cut Carolina, I mean that would be fine, because yeah, I mean when you break that eye socket once, it's never gonna be the same. Yeah, because she might be a health risk to herself, man. Trying to go back in there and fight, and she's not built for it. I don't think you'll ever be 100% if you break an eye socket, in my opinion. I mean, you can see Kell Brook, shoot. Yeah, yeah, I saw she got married last month or so. Yeah, I've been seeing like pictures of her on Instagram. She posts up she got married, so that's fine. I mean, she want to settle down and think about kids. I think Caitlin Kagan is in that same boat too, but Caitlin's staying on her game though, until she's ready to get out of there. Carolina has that titanium plate installed on her head, man. Yeah. Dang. Damaged goods, man. I mean, seriously. I mean, yeah, what's her name? She put a beating on her in that one fight, man. She was just like letting her hands go. She was just ripping her to pieces, just picking her apart. Between Alexa Grasso and who was that last fighter she fought? Was it Jan? Was it Jan that pieced up Carolina? Oh, Roger said Caitlyn got a good contract when she fought Valentina. Yeah, Caitlyn seems like she's got a better head for business than some of these fighters. I mean, when she got off of that Cynthia Calvillo fight, she jumped right at it. She jumped right on that and took that fight. So I give Caitlyn a lot of credit. Not very crowd pleasing with the style, but I can give a fighter I can give them respect all day if they know how to win in the ring, or in the octagon, or out of the octagon, man. If you winning financially, and you winning in fights, hey, you get all my respect. Because I really think that is her plan. Like, whether she fights Valentina or not, I think that she'll get a few more solid paydays and then probably, hang it up. Ernest Richardson, what's going on? Let's see. I was saying earlier, Claudia Gadelha isn't that safe either. Lackluster performances in her last 4 or 5 fights with a minimum 90K contract. What do y'all think about Claudia? I mean, I think she's safer than most. I don't I don't see her getting cut this time around. Nah. I don't think he's going to touch the flyweight division too much. Excuse me, the strawweight division. I don't think he's going to touch the strawweight division too much. I think Claudia is a little bit safer. Now, I'm not saying like she's in the 90% stage of being safe, but I think somewhere around 80%. What do y'all think? Claudia's not getting cut. I don't think so. But if she do, I mean, she got a gym, right? And she got her own gym now. And then she doing the OnlyFans thing too as well. So, she's got some income in there. Gary said Claudia's safe. Yeah, I think Claudia's safe, man. But that's true too, man. She is one fight away from being in jeopardy. Yeah, like she can't keep playing games, especially if she ain't improving. Like she's gonna become dead weight. Like if she don't show anything, because like her last few fights, she just did not look impressive. Angela Hill, to me, won that fight. Carla beat her. It's not even like exciting back and forth action she's putting on to where she can hold her own. So yeah, like if she loses one more fight, and I'm talking about getting dominated, outclassed, she'll definitely be in jeopardy. Because something tells me after these 60 fighters that get cut, they might do some more cutting, like in the first quarter as well. They might cut somebody like February or March. Stammer said he can touch strawweight more than any others because there's more wiggle room there than anywhere else. She has a lot of fighters, so it's on the higher end of the pay scale, and she ain't winning. That's a good point. That is a good point. Yeah, like if you making all this money, ain't really no need to keep you too. I see that. Goes back to being dead weight, man. Damn. Yeah, so she may not be 100% safe. No way. So she might be one of the ones that go. But yeah. Man, this past Saturday, I thought we were gonna have another solid fight between Taylor Santos and Montana. I thought that Taylor Santos was gonna, put in that work, get Montana out of there. But somebody on Montana's team tested positive for COVID. Fight got canceled. And it's like I always say, man, in these days, man, this COVID right now, it's always gonna knock something out, man. Like nothing's 100%. That's why I said until they get into the octagon, no fight is finalized. That's how far it goes now. Like fight night, it can either be a bust now or it's going to be a solid night. That's how it kind of has been. Like we've been having nights where it's been like just great nights, fights, and then the next night it'd be like, damn, such and such got canceled. Last minute got canceled. But I thought Taylor Santos, she was going to make that statement. And don't y'all find that funny? BJ, he come in right when I mentioned, um, right when I mentioned Taylor Santos outclassing and beating Montana De La Rosa. He's gonna come in. He's gonna come in the building. BJ comes in right when I bring that up. Yeah, the fighter I really feel sorry for this, and I feel sorry for Taylor Santos because she's only had 2 fights in the UFC. She's 1-1, and she really hasn't got a chance to grow or showcase her skills. So I really feel for her in this situation, man. Because I feel like this was going to be her coming out fight where she was gonna put in that work and show what she was made of. I was picking her to beat Montana, and I thought it was going to be a good standing fight where she could just outstrike Montana. I knew that if it went to the ground, it would favor Montana more so, but I wasn't going to totally count out Montana. I wasn't going to totally count out Taylor Santos either, because she's got ground skills as well. If you take her to the ground, hey, she can get in there as well, man. So it was going to be a good, solid fight for both of them. I had Taylor winning it, but as you know, they didn't go that way. Fight didn't happen. And again, next week, this Saturday coming, I thought we were going to have another fight. I wanted to see Jillian Robertson get Andrea Lee out of there. I wanted to see her go in there and make a statement. I wanted to see her go in there and try to break into that top 10 with a win over Andrea Lee. But once again, Andrea Lee, she pulls out because of an injury. I haven't seen anything more recently now, but do y'all know why Andrea Lee pulled out of that fight? Do y'all know why Andrea Lee pulled out? I mean, no, I know she's injured, but do y'all know what hurt? What she hurt, or what's going on there? Well, y'all answer that. Let me look at the comments here. Ernest Richardson, also, if Montana lost this week, she would have been cut too. I don't know. I don't think she would have been cut. I don't think she would have got cut that fast. Gary, I feel sorry for Taylor. Stammer said Contenders has gotten us a lot of new strawweights who will be paid peanuts to fight, conditioned to rock 'em, sock 'em because of Contenders. The MMA brothers are happy. BJ said he walked right into the BS. There you go. De La Rosa's 4-2 in the UFC. No reason to be confident she's in the firing line quite yet. I think Jillian is an easy fight. I think Jillian is an easier fight for Taylor. I don't know. Well, I know Montana had the size, and she does have a better right hand than Jillian, so that would have been interesting. Robert said, I'm getting too excited for future fights until this time next year. We should be out of this mess by then. But any breakdowns I make will stay up regardless. Yeah, I'll keep them up. Yeah, if I make a breakdown, I'll keep them up. But I've been kind of slow on doing a breakdown prediction now. I just kind of slow my pace on it. Roger, she got her nose broke. Oh, Andrea Lee got her nose broke. Okay, got you. Ernest Richardson, Andrea Lee might be cut either way. Dana will pay her some injury settlement hush money. Okay, yeah, BJ, she got her nose broke. She signed a 4-fight deal weeks ago. She ain't getting cut. Who signed a 4-fight deal, De La Rosa or Andrea Lee? Who signed the 4-fight deal? Hang on for a second. I gotta go check something. I'm cooking something. Hold on. I'll be right back. All right. Oh, Montana signed a 4-fight deal. Okay. De La Rosa, her stand up is poor, but Jillian's stand up is non-existent. Damn. Yeah, that's a good point, man. Cause like, oh, Coach, sound. I had stepped away. I was downstairs cooking something. So yeah, I just stepped away. Nothing wrong with the sound. People are treating this like fight picks or something. Is the person who predicts right cool or smart or something? Take your pick, Stam. It's either one. You want to be cool, smart, or something. Maybe if you pick right, you'll be or something. So, yeah, I think Montana did pose some kind of threat to Taylor in the stand-up department. Maybe just like a little, maybe because of her right hand. I feel like her right hand was, you know, her right hand is money if she can land it. But I think that Jillian, I think she's been working on some things. I think she's gonna work on some things to that was gonna help her get takedowns better in this Taylor fight. And the thing about Montana is, like I said, you could just target the face, target the nose, and you can draw blood and make it an easy win for yourself. BJ said Montana's stand up is not poor, and Jillian has been working tremendously hard with Stephen Thompson and many others. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to see. I'm ready to see this coming Saturday, not this Saturday, but the 19th. I want to see what she looked like, what she's looking like. I want to see if the hands are gonna show some difference in her last few fights. Uh, Ernest Richardson said if Jeff Neal beats Wonder Boy, I think he gets cut too. All bets are almost off at this point. I don't know. I mean, yeah, the cuts are coming in. He said throughout the end of the year, so we'll see. Stammer said Jillian working hard doesn't change the truth of what Gary said. BJ, she better be working hard because he's right. I think Montana's size. I think her size and her strength really would have made it an interesting fight with Taylor. I think that she would have given her some good moments in that fight. Especially I think she has longer reach too. Her longer reach and her height would have really kind of played in there because I think she can throw them hands a little bit, um, even to set up some of her takedowns. But yeah, Jillian, she's got to learn to stop jabbing short. Jillian's jabbing short. I hope she's committing to that jab in the in training, and I hope she commits to the extending her shots fully whenever she takes on Taylor Santos. Because Taylor's going to be reading that body language. I mean, when a fighter jabs short, or they punch short, that kind of shows your opponent that you ain't got the confidence, and eventually they're going to come in there and just piece you up. I mean, there's one thing to feint, but if you're just constantly just jabbing short or you're just punching short all night, like you don't want to touch that person, then eventually then they ain't got nothing to worry about. If you just continue to jab short, so I hope that she fully extends that jab now. Oh yeah, BJ, maybe we get Montana versus Maverick. Yeah, hopefully we get that fight. Yeah, hopefully we get that fight. Montana versus Maverick, that would be good. Stamina said, Ernest, those are terrible takes. These are terrible takes. Gary, Jillian stand up might as well not exist until I see more. He said, not until I see more. Well, she's got to show something on the 19th. You know, I mean, that's the only way you're gonna see something. People can train all day, but fight night's when it's most important. BJ said, crazy, y'all point out flaws and then continue to trash as they evolve. When these young fighters be good enough for you critical ass people. BJ said Jillian doesn't want to be in the pocket, so she's not gonna overcommit to the jab. Well, hey, BJ, that's gonna be her fault right there. You just named the weakness right there. Then, if she doesn't want to be in the pocket, she's gonna be more predictable with her takedowns because she's just gonna shoot in from a distance. But if she starts fighting more in the pocket, she can start doing damage. And when you do damage, the takedowns come easier. So she needs to learn how to do some fighting in the pocket. You got to fight in the pocket. Even with the jab, like you can extend the jab from range. If you know your distance, if you know distance and your range, you'll be able to land a nice jab. You'll be able to land a nice jab. You don't have to be in the pocket to land a good jab. So she can commit to a solid jab from a distance. And I guarantee you when she finds that jab, a right hand will come. When she gets the right hand, she'll start letting the left hook go. Because if you don't even commit to a jab, you ain't gonna never want to put punches together. A person that can't even commit to a jab will never put punches together. So yeah, like you can commit to a jab from a distance. I mean, you can fight in the pocket, which I recommend Jillian needs to do more of, but you can also strike from a good range with the jab. Stamina. Not stamina. BJ said whatever stamina, y'all take the fun out of it with all the criticism. Like y'all can do so much better. I don't like to call it criticism. Well, I don't like to criticize fighters. I critique fighters. I think critiquing is a little bit better, especially when you've done it before. You can say what to do and what not to do. You know. I've done it before, and whenever I can see something, and like 9 times out of 10, if you do it and it works, and I can tell you, yeah, that's what you need to do. Stamina said that's another falsity. I don't need to be able to do better. If that were true, nobody would have an opinion on restaurant, music, politics, and that argument is riddled with holes. Robert said, BJ, when will her improvements good enough for you critical people? When she critically improves. All right, Combo, I'm a jet out here tired of the same shit being said over and over. Sing a different tune, catch up. All right, see you, man. That's what makes a fight game fun for me, though, man. Just like if everybody was perfect, there would be no talk. We gotta you gotta look at fighters and see what they do right, see what they do wrong. Um, so yeah, like I mean, if you look at, oh man, I always got to go to boxing, man. Like there's certain guys that I can say they need to do this all day and all day, like, but it's true. But like if you go to Terrence Crawford, like Errol Spence, these boxers here, they're at the top of their divisions because they do all the right things. They're gifted. There's still certain fighters at the lower level, like I'm saying, Jillian Robertson, like she's tough. She's tough and she's scrappy. She's a solid fighter on the ground, but there's certain things that hold her back. There is certain things that hold her back, man. Like that's just me being honest. Like if she wasn't and she had this it factor and this gift, she would be taking on Valentina right now. You know, that's why everybody wants, in boxing, everybody wants Spence Crawford. You know, in the featherweight division, everybody wants Nunes Cyborg too, because they know that they're the upper echelon of featherweights. You know, they know that there is no other. If one beats the other, then they got to fight again, because they're it. They're it. We can people criticize them, but then they make the critiques. I like to make the critiques and say, hey, maybe you should have put your hands up here. Maybe you should have jabbed more, you know? Robert Henry said critique versus criticizing. Yeah, I got to stick with what I know. Gary Baldwin said, technically, I can probably do more against Santos since I'm an 170-pound man. Depends on what you do, though. I mean, technically, if she beats you to something that's your weakness, then you wouldn't be able to. But I know where you're coming from. I mean, if she beats you to whatever you don't expect and your timing is off, then no. But I mean, if you just use your weight, then fine. BJ said, I get that, but at least you critique everyone instead of some people who don't critique fighters who have their favorite broken record. BJ act like they don't have fun being critical. Oh yeah, I'll critique certain things Valentina do too, but I mean, it's so different. Like they're two different worlds. Like what she's doing is getting the job done, you know. It's not enough to put her at a big threat right now, because there's such a far gap between her and the contenders, you know. Like if she continues to do the same thing over and over, then I'm gonna say, oh, Valentina needs to stop doing this. Like, for example, Valentina needs to stop fighting in the pocket. She might get knocked out, but she's never done anything crazy like that. Stamina. There are many positives about G-Rob. She ain't garbage overall, but her stand-up is subpar. It's literally the worst thing about her fighting, and perhaps the worst of all women in the UFC. And the thing damn, somebody's alarm's going off out here. Yeah, the thing about Jillian Robertson is her stand-up. Like you said, I can't say it's the worst thing, because there's a lot of room for improvement. It's just all about commitment. That's what makes it almost non-existent. Like Gary said, like when you don't commit to it, then there's really nothing to talk about. Like I can't say it's garbage. I can't say it's subpar either. It's almost non-existent. You know, which is worse, garbage or non-existent? I don't know. Like what did y'all take it? It's however you want to look at it. I mean, non-existent, you don't have anything to go off of. And Roger's right. Stand up and developing a jab won't happen overnight. No, like developing a jab is over and over and over until you hate it, until your arm hurts and you get pissed off at the person telling you to do it. When that person keeps telling you how to throw it the way he wants you to throw it, you get pissed off like a mug. But believe me, like after so many years, depending on how fast you learn, you know, maybe after a few 6, 7, 8 months, it becomes more second nature, you know. But yeah, like developing that jab, it has to be a process throughout your career, you know. It has to be a process throughout your career. Shout out to my trainer like 10 years ago. I used to want to shoot the jab like Roy Jones, and he used to tell me to throw it his way, and I was like, I don't like it this way. But when you throw it that certain way, you learn that way and you keep it that way for life. And it's so basic, but it's fundamental and it works. And I think that's what Jillian Robertson needs. She needs somebody in there to tell her to keep doing it, whether she likes it or not. Dropping in and thinking some magic is going to happen overnight is crazy. Yeah, it don't happen. I mean, hard work. Yeah, like that's why yes, damn it, garbage is worse than non-existent. Yeah, because there's still room for her. There's still a lot of room for her. Like she has the nimbleness, she has the athleticism in the feet to move and throw, but you gotta use it. You gotta start using your tools. You gotta start putting all that together. Russ, I trained and had some of my fighters go to Kenny Weldon. Kenny Weldon's evangelist. Oh yeah, Kenny Weldon. Okay. I love Evander Holyfield. Evander Holyfield is like one of my top five. So yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, Evander's like my top five, top five fighters of all time. So he said Evander would come in and do jabs on the rack just like everybody else. Yeah, man, because like the best of the best, that's how they get it. The best of the best, that's how they get that thing, man. Like that's how they get it down, man. They got to keep working on it. And you could do it in the gym all day long. You could do reps all day in the gym, but I mean, you got to start learning how to use it in a fight. You really got to start learning how to use it in the fight, and then it becomes your weapon. BJ said, "How has she went backwards? She only lost 2 fights in the UFC. How is that going backwards? She went toe to toe with VAR, outlanded her, and that's not improvement for a grappler." Yeah, that's interesting, Roger. Yeah, dang man, you said every Sunday y'all have privates with Kenny. I gotta get you on here one day, Kenny, man. Not Kenny. I gotta get you on here, Roger, man. Just like either I can send you a link or call in or whatever, man. Like I'm back and forth cooking right now, so I gotta get you on, Roger. We could kind of talk about that. I found that interesting, man. I heard Kenny Weldon. Gary said, "I'll say this: to Jillian has better stand up than Ben Askren and Ben Askren. Oh man, yeah. So Jillian going into this fight, like I can already tell you that Taylor has the upper hands on that. In the striking department, unless this training that she's doing, she's going to be able to utilize maybe one or two things in this fight. But like I said, the most important thing too for this fight coming up is that she gets the fundamentals of striking down, so she can at least, if she can't execute it, at least she can study her opponent's body language and know what they're about to do with their hands. Like she can really know Taylor's footwork and know when Taylor's about to throw a jab or know when she's about to throw a right hand. That's the important part of Jillian really knowing these fundamentals too. Like even if she can't execute combinations or anything crazy yet, at least maybe she can see her opponent. So it's almost like seeing in the mirror. If you ever did drills with another person and they stand in front of you, you get to see that person how they throw a jab and almost mirror what it looks like. When you two throw it the same way, you get to almost see what you look like, the way your body positioning is. So yeah, not November, but December 19th. This was the original matchup that was going to happen, and I'm looking forward to it, man. You know, yeah, Montana does pose a few more threats. Did pose a few more threats for Taylor. The height, the reach, and the power. But I think style wise that this would be an interesting matchup just because I think when it goes to the ground, it's gonna be interesting. It's just gonna be interesting, man, between Taylor and Jillian. See how physically strong Taylor is versus a grappler, ground fighter like Jillian. BJ said Jillian has already studied Taylor. They were booked to fight before Jillian fought Casey. Well, that's good. I mean, she needs to stay on it though. I mean, don't lose what you studied before. You can always stay up on it. Santos has trained BJJ over 8 or 9 years. Yeah, I actually heard like 12. I actually heard she was studying BJJ for like 12 years. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man. Or did I get my numbers mixed up? I think she had like what 12, 14 cancellations, it's something like that, man. Yeah, she's had so many cancellations, man. All right, BJ. Jillian's gonna bust up Taylor Santos, slice wide open. Watch and see. Now, if you said she was gonna choke her out, if she get her down and choke her out, I would believe that more so. I could agree with that prediction more so, BJ. If you said she was gonna take her down and submit her, I could see that. But dang, man, busting her up. I personally think Jillian can go to straw weight. She's not like she's not a huge flyweight. Yeah, she's not a huge flyweight, so yeah. I don't think she would though right now though. I mean, Stammer says one thing to learn it, another thing to live it. How much of it can be brought from the gym to the cage is the real thing. Yeah, I mean when you start to whenever you make it second nature to what you do, that's the only way you can do it. I mean, you really have to take it home and everything. You got to take it everywhere you go. You know, Robertson has some of the best GMP in the division. Yeah. Yeah. Same with that. Like hitting pads. Like before, you didn't really hit pads before. Even when my dad first taught me boxing, like it wasn't about hitting pads. That's a long time ago. Pads really just came into play nowadays when people started thinking it looked fancy. But yeah, even when I first learned, hitting pads wasn't, no. You learn technique either by just punching air or just shadow boxing in the mirror, at home, taking it home. That's why I said take it home. But I think that a lot of people see there was a method to like Roger Mayweather, rest in peace. There was a method to Roger and Floyd on why they did their mid work the way they did it. You know what I mean? But I think a lot of people that just seen that on YouTube, on IG, all over social media, they just kind of ran with it and thought that was how you supposed to box now. They think that's gonna make you the best boxer in the world. But like taking it home, that's I mean that's learning technique and everything. You don't really get technique just hitting the mitt. But watch a true genius move and the pad work isn't so pretty. Yeah. So yeah, man. December 19th. I'm still looking forward to this match, but like I said, I'm not gonna get too hyped for it. And yeah. But yeah, as far as these cuts that's going down, man, like I said, 60 of them. I feel bad for the fighters who are gonna get cut, but it's a part of the business, and it's not the first time, and it ain't gonna be the last time they get cut. But yeah, my point today was just to say that I don't think that as many women as people felt were going to get cut are going to get cut. It's not going to be like 20, 30 women getting cut from the UFC roster. Probably like 7 or 8. But yeah, man, jumping to just wrap it up with this boxing, man. Spence Garcia. Speaking of Spence, I saw that Montana De La Rosa had acknowledged Errol Spence last night as far as his waiting to come out to fight. And yeah, I mean, if these MMA fighters really want to learn the fundamentals, they need to watch this guy, Errol Spence. I mean, they call him the truth for a reason. You know, this guy came off a 15-month layoff after a horrific car accident, and he came back in there against a very dangerous puncher in Danny Garcia and won a dominant 12-round unanimous decision. You know, Errol Spence definitely earned that nickname, the truth. And I mean, this is what separates, like I said, with boxing, same as MMA, this is what separates, you know, certain fighters who are just prospects and they're still learning, that need to be critiqued, versus fighters that are already in their lane. They found their lane. You know, of course, even the fighters that got their own lane, they still need to learn too. You know, there's still some things they need. Like Errol, he's not perfect, but he's a fighter that does everything right. You know, he does everything well as far as his basics. And when he was in there with Danny Garcia, you know, he really looked like he wasn't in a car accident. He just went in there, pieced Danny Garcia up, used his jab, something I always talk about, the jab. He had the longer reach in there, and he utilized it. You know, beat Danny up for 12 rounds with the jab, beautiful body work, and just dictating the pace of the ring. You know, he knew he was the bigger, stronger fighter in there, but he just controlled, you know, he utilized that. He controlled it. And like in the third or fourth round, I could really see it in Danny's face that he knew he was in over his head, man. Like Danny Garcia, his eye was swelling up, like I think midway through the fight, left eye was swelling up, just taking some hard hits. He gave a few shots here and there, but you know, Spence was just too much for him. You know, Errol Spence is just too much for him. And yeah, Roger, he has great footwork. Yeah. And Danny, so many people, I'll tell you this too, Roger, so many people were telling me that Danny would be more in favor to knock Errol Spence out. But I did a video a few days ago about why Danny's not a devastating puncher. And it all comes down to his footwork and how he generates his power. The guy is flat-footed. If you push him back or you keep him off balance, he's not generating the power because he throws from the hips and he throws the same way. He throws these like home run shots. You know, he swings his whole body into it. So if he's not on balance, he's not going to throw them. He's not going to land anything to knock Spence out. You know, I did a video, broke that down. And like I said, he hadn't knocked nobody out at welterweight of elite status. You know, he hasn't knocked anybody out at welterweight to make us say this guy's a killer puncher. And I was pretty much spot on. I mean, Errol walked through his shots, showed him he was the bigger, stronger guy, and shows you what happens when a guy has good footwork versus a guy who's more so stationary. But yeah, like everybody else wants the Terrence Crawford Spence fight. That's a fight I'll take, definitely. That's a fight I would like to see next year. But if it don't happen, you know, Spence and Manny Pacquiao is a nice matchup as well, you know. So yeah, that would be a good matchup too. But yeah, after a car accident, the way Errol Spence, you know, went through, I mean, you got to give the guy a lot of credit, man. He came back and didn't look rusty at all. I mean, maybe rusty here and there to him, but he looked good. You know, reflexes was on point, timing was on point. Physically, his body, you know, took shots well. So yeah, he was very solid after a car accident. It was almost like a storybook thing. They got to do a documentary on him now, you know, like they did Vinny Pazienza. You know, he got the movie after he got to have a car wreck. You know, he went back to fighting. So that would be crazy. Yeah, because that's something big, man. You know, that car accident. If y'all seen that footage, man, he went flying out of that car. He was flying down the road, and he went flying when his car turned over. So to not suffer any broken bones in that fight, that was crazy, man. Most people would have died from an accident like that, you know. But yeah, man, I'm about to get off here in a minute. Anything in the WMMA world that y'all want to talk about real quick? Anything going on? Like, over the next few weeks. I know next week I'll probably talk more about Rose and Wei Lee because I really want to see that fight. And I think, yeah, we got to start talking about that more so they sign that fight because that fight needs to happen. I mean, the more and more I see Wei Lee on Instagram, man, I'm like, yo, this girl is looking like every day, man. She's looking more and more just like solid, stronger, and just more obsessed. Like, she really wants to defend her title in a dominant fashion. So I'm ready for this fight, man. I was hoping it was going to come in December, but maybe we'll get it before the spring, maybe 2021, like February. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do a breakdown on that too, Coach. But yeah, my thoughts on McFarlane Velasquez. I think this is gonna be Ilima-Lei Macfarlane her biggest test. I think this is really going to be her biggest test as far as being able to uh, outstrike the striker at times. I don't think she's just going to go straight in there and take down Velasquez. She has to be prepared for a range fight at times. She's going to have to go cut that distance off, and she's going to have to be watching out for counters from Velasquez. On the other side, Velasquez has to watch out from McFarlane's physical strength. She's going to have to be able to fight a 5-round fight if need be. If it goes 5 rounds, she's going to be able to keep that stamina and stay on her feet and avoid the ground against McFarlane. Because I feel like McFarlane, if she can get on the inside, she can make it a rough and ugly fight. Because that's what she's going to need to do against Velasquez. Velasquez is brutal from the outside. She'll put 1-2s together and snap that head back with that straight left hand. So this is going to be a good fight, man. I kind of, I made my pick already, Coach, but I haven't changed my mind yet. Velasquez is still looking like the favorite in this one, man. I mean, everybody on McFarlane's list, like I said, I watched her last 7 fights, and I just could not find anything she could do that was really going to offset Velasquez. And then I just saw some of the common opponents that they fought, and I felt like Velasquez had the goods and the tools to beat the wrestler in this fight. Good controlled pressure, good countering ability, like I said. And only thing I think is just her defense sometimes, like her chin's still out there. She sticks her chin out. So if Ilima-Lei Macfarlane works on something, works on landing good hooks or good inside punching, then there might be a problem. Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that fight, man. We're gonna close the year out. That's probably gonna be the biggest women's fight that we have. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that. And I will do a breakdown prediction this week for McFarlane Velasquez. Yeah, solid fight. Battle of the undefeateds, man. Marcus says Shannon Dobson will be fighting Casey O'Neill in February. Oh, okay. She coming back to fight Casey O'Neill. Okay. Good flyweight fight. Is she ready to pull off that upset again, Shannon Dobson gonna come in there with that energy, man. She came in there with that underdog energy at last time. But Agapova came in there. I don't know what Agapova was trying to do, man. She came in there trying to show out like she was street fighting or something, and she got a frame handed to her, man. Yeah, man. Shoot. Dobson said, yo, I gotta show you what's up. But we'll see without this fight. I know Casey O'Neill's young undefeated flyweight. I think she's like 22, 23 years old. So I want to see what she can do. She's a decent striker as well. She just we got to watch out for that power. Power is Shannon Dobson. Power comes from that right hand. I'm surprised nobody mentioned Shannon Dobson as far as getting cut, but I hope she don't get cut. Any time in the future. I know she's not getting cut this time, but I mean just in the future. I mean, so just to give y'all a heads up to Monday, which Monday? Let me see. There's a Monday this month. I'm gonna do like a year-end live stream where I just kind of go back and give y'all my favorite fights of this year, my favorite knockouts. I'm gonna probably do it on. Let me see. Gotta look at the calendar real quick. Yeah, like December, I think December 28th, I'm gonna do a year-end review, man. I'm gonna do like maybe my top 3 or top 5 fights and top KOs and top fighters you need to look out for. I haven't done all the categories yet, so yeah, be on the lookout for that. Yeah, December 28th, I'll do that. Favorite knockouts, favorite fights, and favorite fighters, and so on. I'm gonna do something like that. And of course, if y'all want to come in, like after I give y'all mine, I'll send y'all out links, and y'all can jump in and let me know y'all's favorite fight. So yeah, be on the lookout for that, December 28th. So yeah, man. I'm actually taking some time off of work, just a few days. So yeah, I ain't gotta worry about nothing tomorrow. I ain't doing jack tomorrow. Well, I gotta work out tomorrow. I took a break, man. I took a long break from working out, so I need to get off my ass. Man, when you stop, it's hard to get back into it. It's really hard to get back into it sometimes, man. But yeah, man. Let me see. Besides Alimale and Velasquez, are there any more women's fights coming this month besides Taylor and Jillian? Is that it? Taylor, Jillian, and Alimale and Juliana. Is that it? Let me check. Is that it this month? I mean, as far as like the major things going on, I mean, there's probably like an LFA fight going on here and there. Let's see. Because yeah, December 19th, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the last card. Hold up. Hold on here. Oh yeah, Sarge and Penny Kansan, they're on this card too, man. They're on this card the 19th. I almost forgot about them. Yeah, okay. So that'll be the last fight. And yeah. Dern's on that card too. Yeah, Dern and Jen Rober on the Penny Sarge, and Taylor Santos and Jillian Roberts. Okay, so we got 3 more fights on the UFC card. All right. Yeah, Stan. Yeah, we got 3 fights. That's all right. Yep. early look, man, I'm looking at Dern, man. I gotta go with Dern. Just an early prediction. I'm liking what I see from Dern. No, Stanley, it's 3. You got Taylor and Jillian. Then you got Sarge and Panny. Then you got Verna and McKenzie. It's 3. Yeah, BJ, if you see that, man, yeah, let's not jinx it, right, Robert? Let's not jinx it. Yeah, I'm gonna try not to jinx it, man. We ain't gonna say nothing. We hope we have 3 fights. Let's pray we have 3 fights. Yeah, but like I said, December 28th, I'm gonna jump on a live stream, probably like around 7. December 28th, Monday. So if y'all want to come in and get a link that day, 2 weeks out from now, if y'all ain't doing nothing, just come on and let me know y'all top 3 favorite knockouts of 2020, top 3 fighters of 2020, and top 3 fighters to look out for, top 5 fighters to look out for. 2 1 week and 1 next. Yeah, there were 3 1 weekend until the Robertson Lee fight got next. Yeah. So yeah, too, man. The 19th, man, I forgot. But yeah, like I said, Robert, man, damn, like Davison Figueiredo, he had 4 headliners this year, man. That's crazy. 4 headliners this year. And if he gets another finish, that'll be crazy. That'll be like 4 finishes, 4 main events, and he'll go 4-0 in 2020. Yeah, and Angela Hill. Yeah, damn. Yeah, Tisha and Angela. Yeah, that's right. Tisha and Angela, man. I gotta start putting the fight calendar up, man. Like, I'm gonna start putting the fight calendar up behind me. I need to stop trying to memorize this crap, man, because I'm too busy for that crap. That junk never sticks in my head now, man. Like, some of these fights I remember, but then they just go. So, yeah, I gotta put a fight calendar up, man. I need to put it up right behind me. Especially whenever, opponents are changes and then there's cancellations. Nobody's going to remember this now, man. Nobody can remember stuff like this, man. But, yeah, man, that's pretty much all I got tonight. I might come back on tomorrow. Like I said, I ain't got nothing going on too much this week. I'm just chilling. I'm off tomorrow and Tuesday and so on. I'm taking some time off of work. Just taking some days. You got to use some days up. So, I'll probably jump on here again tomorrow. Whatever y'all want to talk about. There might be some other things I want to talk about, man. But Stamina said I just hop on Twitter. Marcel Dorff keeps a nice updated list I always refer to. Okay, appreciate that, man. Yeah, because for boxing, I usually look at there's a guy I look at over there. He does the matchmaking for boxing, and that's how I keep up with them. But Marcel Dorff. Okay. Yeah, appreciate that, Stamina. But yeah, man, I'm about to get up out of here. I got some food downstairs cooking. I gotta go check it again. So just make sure y'all come on tomorrow. If y'all want to come up in there, do some chatting, I'll send y'all a link tomorrow. But yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat. Stamina, Marcus, Robert, BJ, Coach, Genesis, Gary, Ernest. Everybody that come through, Roger. Appreciate those stories you were dropping. But yeah, let me pull up that list right now before I forget that. But yeah, I'll catch y'all tomorrow night. I'll catch y'all on here tomorrow night, and just make sure y'all follow. Same time, Coach. I'll probably be on about 6:30 or 7. About 6:30 or 7. I don't really do too late, and I try not to run into your time. Yeah, about 6:30 or 7. I'll be on, Coach. Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, we got the link, man. Yeah, I appreciate you coming through, man. You definitely always be, filling me in on game. I always appreciate that, and I'll hit Coach up. Yeah, definitely. Hold on. Hold on. He said, I'll come on and talk in caps for me. No, Stamina, don't do that like I just did. Don't talk in caps, man. Gotta keep the blood pressure down over here. Gotta keep the blood pressure down. But yeah, man, I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Just make sure y'all subscribe. If y'all want to help build the channel, there's a Cash App I got right there. If y'all feel like being generous, it's there. But yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow, 6:30 or 7-ish. Peace.